What is going on, everyone? Welcome back to another episode here on the channel. I'm Nathan. Welcome all. Thank you all for listening. Thank you for watching. Whatever you're doing, it means a lot. Make sure to hit the subscribe button down below. It will mean a lot. I'm going to try to get to 400 hopefully sometime soon. I'm going to try to get more, confident or I don't know the word, or more accurate with posting, especially some more MLB-based content. I have some ideas in my head, not just Pirates related. So if you're waiting for more stuff, if you're on the channel for just MLB stuff, I promise it's coming sometime soon. But for now, we do have another episode I am actually kind of excited to talk about for Pirate standards because it has been a very rough season. Today, there's been conversations. I go on social media all the time. I think we all do as Pirates fans, and it's like, who is getting traded? I think this guy's getting traded. They should move him for him. Now, there's not a particular way to make values for these guys. I think some people just making these mock trades, they don't really know. They just want some player. Some people just want players off the team at this point. So for today's episode, I'm not doing mock trades. I'm doing my personal percentage chance on names that I've seen most popular amongst Pirates fans that they want moved or they think will be moved. So I'm going to have a category. Here are the categories: 100% gone, 80 to 95% confident they'll be gone, 65% maybe they're moved, 45% currently, in my opinion, is kind of right down the middle. My 30% wild card moves that are personally just my opinion. I haven't really been seeing these names float around. These could be the names like whenever we saw the Rodolfo Castro for a Bailey Falter type of trade that I honestly did not see coming. 20%, this would shock me. 10% don't see happening, but who knows? And then, of course, I have 0% chance. And you could probably guess a couple of the names that fall under there. So we are going to get this started with my 100% gone names. Now, there are two of them. You might be shocked, where's the other ones? But a majority of these guys are in the 80 to 95 or the 65%. So we're going to have our more particular trade candidates, two of them, in my opinion. These are two that I think are 100% going to be gone. Is there a possibility? And one of these guys' fans have been wanting them to extend. No, it's not happening. So we're going to get to that. My 100% gones, here are the two names. We're going to start here. First guy, Isaiah Kiner-Falefa. So I'm going to pull up his stats right here really quick. So far this season, he's had 222 at-bats. He's scored 22 runs, 61 total hits, 1 homer, 17 ribbies, 9 stolen bases. He has a slash line of a 275 average, a 319 OBP, and a 661 OPS. He is in no particular way a power guy. His total slugging right now with the Pirates this year is a 342. When I'm looking at what he did at the first half of last year before he got traded, let me see if I can pull this really quick. In Toronto in the first half, he had a 758 OPS, 7 home runs. That was in a total of 83 games. So far with the Pirates in 66 games, he is nowhere close to that. 1 homer and a total OPS of a 661. So he is down from his Toronto numbers, but IKF right now is doing a lot better than what he did after getting traded to the Pirates. So last year when he was traded to Pittsburgh, he still put up that 240 batting average, but had a 587 OPS. Maybe the Matt Haig connection that he did have in Toronto did kind of transfer to the Pirates, but he's been probably what you could say the Pirates' best hitter as of late. He's hitting 275. That average has taken a dip as of late. His last 7 games, he's batting 160. His last 15 games at the time he's making this, he's batting 170. However, his last 30, he's batting 270. So he was in the 300 range, but however, it has been taking a hit. He did not have a hit at all this weekend against the Texas Rangers. So with IKF, this could be one of those make the trade as quick as possible right now before too much value is taken away. There was reports from Bob Nightingale. I know Bob Nightingale is not really the most credible source. Still a writer out there, not to tarnish anything he's done. But that's a joke on social media. But however, he did say there are 2 teams that have been in contact with the Pirates about him and IKF services. They are the San Francisco Giants, who just made the move for Rafael Devers. So you could say maybe IKF will be the utility guy if they want him, and a reunion with the New York Yankees, which not a lot of Yankees fans are too fond of. Moving on to the next guy, the second guy of my 100% gone. It is a pitcher. It is a pitcher having a very solid year. He was probably the best free agent pitcher they added, or free agent they even added in the first place. That is going to be number 45. You probably know it already, Andrew Heaney. Left-hander, probably the best left-hander they added. He was one of the Baseball References, or his MLB Trade Rumors, that is, top 25 free agents. I think he was 25, but you could say the Pirates got a top 25 free agent. This year, he has a 3.94 ERA and 82 and a third innings pitched, 61 strikeouts, a whip of 1.19. It is lower than his career numbers. He has a 1.26 whip in his career, a 4.42 career ERA, so that is lower as well. He is currently 3-6, but in my opinion, records, I don't like pitching records. I get why it's a thing, but look at Mitch Keller. He's like 1-10, 1-11 at the time of me making this. Like, you can't add this. He's a guy giving you quality starts. Andrew Heaney, however, these last 7 games, last 7 starts, he has a 4.91 ERA. His last 15 a 3.94. He has started a total of 15 games. So Andrew Heaney has kind of been on the downward track these last few games. His last 3 games in general, his last start in Detroit, he pitched 4 innings, 8 hits, 7 earned, 3 walks, 2 Ks. In Chicago on the 12th of June, 6 innings, 4 hits, 3 earned, 7 Ks. That was a solid start. And then he did lose that game. And then home against the Phillies, he pitched 6 innings, 4 hits, 1 earned, 5 Ks. So that was his best start of the last 3. Probably his best start as of recently with the limited runs. But he has kind of been on this little bit of a downward trajectory, which kind of stinks. But it is what it is. I think Andrew Heaney is going to get the best value instead. Like, if you compare Isaiah Kiner-Falefa and Andrew Heaney, I think Heaney's going to get you the best possible return, in my opinion. I'm going to add another name before I forget to this list, because I'm looking at my list right now, not to spoil anything, but I did forget a name. So we have that added. But when I'm looking at 100% gone, those are my 2 guys. So moving on to my 80 to 95%, I'm confident these guys will need to be moved. These are guys, there's 2 names, one of which went through arbitration, and the other one is a free agent. He is on a returning deal. This first one, I think, could be one of the biggest hauls the Pirates could get this trade deadline. We argue if relievers should be traded. We saw what the Marlins got for Trevor Rogers last year from the Orioles. They got a guy in Kyle Stowers that can be a star in Miami. It's Dennis Santana. Dennis Santana has practically been unhittable this year. He has been amazing. So far this season, a 2-1 record out of the bullpen, a 1.62 ERA, which his career ERA right now is a 4.35. So this has been the best he has looked his entire career. 5 saves, 33 and a third innings, 26 strikeouts, a whip of .78. His career whip in his career regular season, that is 1.25. He is outperforming all of his regular season numbers. When I brought him up as a guy in the last episode of just how good he has been, this has been the best year of his career. And it's funny, ever since he has joined the Pittsburgh Pirates, he has been playing the best baseball of his career. For example, 2018, he pitched in a game, not good enough, 12.27 ERA, doesn't really count. 3 games with the Dodgers, 2019, a 7.2. 2020, he pitched in 12 games with the Dodgers, 5.29. 2021, he went to 2 different teams. He was on the Dodgers, had a 6 ERA and 16. 2021, he had a 3.63 with the Texas Rangers, which was his 3rd best season compared to this Pirate standards. 2022, he had a 5.22 with the Rangers. 2023, he went to the Mets. He pitched in 9 games and had a 5.91. In 2024, he pitched with 2 teams, of course, the New York Yankees, a 6.26 ERA in 23 games. He was then moved to the Pirates when they claimed him. He had a 2.44 last year with the Pittsburgh Pirates, his lowest of his career. He did start off a little rough with the Pirates, but in 44 and a third innings, that is, he had a 2.44. And right now in 33 and a third, so he's about 10 innings away from that mark he had last year, is a 1.62 ERA. This has been the best year of his career. He's been a closer role. He's been a setup man. He's also been a guy to come in the 7th inning and clean stuff up out of jams. He has been great. And this would be a mistake. Honestly, like, it sucks to say because he's been really good, but I'm pretty sure he is a free agent at the end of this year. I think it's a mistake if you just let him walk. His value is probably the highest it will ever get. This is a guy that could give them the most, because there's teams out there like the Tigers, like the Phillies, that would love to add bullpen arms. They will give you a haul, I think, for a Dennis Santana. He is probably going to be the most popular name that is called. Like, 1-year guy maybe, or a bullpen arm. Dennis Santana could probably give the Pirates a bunch of stuff. And then the other guy, my 80 to 95%, just keep this moving, is Adam Frazier. Who knew Adam Frazier would be probably the best free agent bat they signed? I'm not going to count Andrew McCutchen, since that was practically just a 1-year extension. Tommy Pham's nowhere close. Adam Frazier, I was not expecting this out of Adam Frazier. Right now, a 3 home runs, 20 ribbies in 213 ABs, 254 average, a 315 OBP. The OPS isn't there. It's still 653. But I mean, he's batting over 250 as a solid, pretty average OBP. He's doing what he's been asked. His playing time's been weird because whenever Nick Gonzalez got hurt, it was practically your everyday second baseman, which wasn't part of the plans. I wouldn't think it was. He's making $1.15 million at the top of my head, I am pretty sure. But he's been playing a lot of left field. So it's like, what are we doing with Tommy Pham? If Adam Frazier's playing left field, we have to be nearing the end of the Tommy Pham experiment. And we will actually be talking about Tommy Pham, no spoilers coming up. But I think Adam Frazier has a solid chance to be a bench piece on a good team. I think any team would like him as a utility guy, especially with his 254 average. Sure, the OPS kind of scares me, but it's the 653. I think any good team would love that as a back-end bench option. He probably won't give you a lot, but on that one-year deal, I could see the Pirates moving on from him. Or it could just be they keep him. That's why he's in this category, because I think I'm more 90 to 95 on Dennis Santana, but I'm more towards the lower ends of 80 or right at 80, maybe 79% on Adam Frazier, just because I could see the Pirates being like what they did with Aroldis Chapman last year, just keeping the guy out of respect because they know what Adam Frazier has done with this organization in the past. So I'm tempted to move Frazier down to the next category, but I think he is in this category. So we're going to keep this moving. 65% my maybe these guys are moved. Two pitchers. I'm going to start with one that is on a one-year deal. That is Caleb Ferguson. I put him on this just because he does have a 2.97 ERA that is very serviceable. He was traded last deadline from the Yankees to the Astros. I think, and is also, here's this, last 7 games, a 1.04, last 15 games, 0.59. He has been very good his last 15. Last 30, of course, he has a 3.49. So his regular season this year is sitting at 2.97, 26 Ks, a 1.05 whip in 35 games, 33 and a third innings. Caleb Ferguson has been very good. I think the thing why I have him in this range, they didn't trade Aroldis Chapman last year. This is a left-handed reliever, and he's probably the best left-handed reliever they have out of the bullpen that I would trust the most. So I could see them being like, we're not going to trade Caleb Ferguson because of that. So that is why I think Ferguson is in this category. I think there's a chance he gets moved. I know he's a name that seems popular just because he's on that one-year contract, but I think there is a chance that's why he's in this range where I think he could stay just because they didn't move Chapman. And then this next name, another reliever that's been popular amongst Pirates fans of like, please move this guy. There's other Pirates fans that are like, you can't move this guy. It's David Bednar. Ever since his return from AAA, this dude has been lights out. This season, he started out rough, a 3.04 ERA this season, lower than his career numbers where he's a 3.33 ERA. So this season, a 3.04, 26.2 innings pitched, 10 saves, 38 strikeouts, a 1.09 whip. Here's where it gets interesting. His last few games, he's been lights out. So last 30, 3.04 ERA. That includes some rough outings in Miami and then before he got sent down. Last 15 games, a 1.93 ERA, 7 saves. So he's definitely been more so in that save situation, more so than I think that Dennis Santana's been. And then his last 7 games have been even better. A 0 ERA, 2-1 record, 7 innings pitched. He's been perfect basically every single time he's pitched. He's allowed 1 hit, 2 walks, 11 strikeouts, a .43 whip. David Bednar, he's back. I see guys like blaming Bednar when they lost in I think it was the Detroit game. And he did get that loss, but his ERA is nothing because it was just a free base runner. Like, they're blaming Bednar for that loss. There was the tag play that Brian Hayes missed. Like, David Bednar has been very, very good since his return from AAA, and it was a very rough start to the year last year. Last year was kind of just rough in general for Bednar. He is a 2-time All-Star. You can't forget that, and that's the thing with trading these relievers. You trade them while their value is so high, because if you think they're just going to tank, then you might be in trouble. And the Pirates looked like they could have been in trouble with Bednar. They were going to be stuck with him. And now he's kind of just turned up the Jets, and I think another team would love this. And a lot of writers think the Pirates should just trade him out of fear that this could happen again. He just falls off a cliff. But he's been very decent. Here's the thing with Bednar. I think it was North Shore 9. It was Jim from North Shore 9. I was listening to their Bucko Brew episode, so go check them out. He made this good point with Bednar. If you had the choice between keeping Bednar and Santana, and this stuck with me, you're probably keeping David Bednar, because here's the thing about Bednar. He wants to play for the Pirates. Now, you might be like, just get rid of him now. I don't care if he doesn't want to play for the Pirates. Well, you want a top free agent. Bednar, when he's a free agent, more than likely will be a top guy, because you're going to have to pay this man something. You can't just keep taking him to arbitration. He's going to be due. Another team will pay this guy. If he wants to be in Pittsburgh so bad, which it's so hard for the Pirates to find guys that want to play for them, you have to keep these guys. Sorry, he's a 2-time All-Star. I know people want him gone just because he's the hometown guy. Maybe he's just given these opportunities. He's been good. He's been very good. He's looking like his all-star self. And honestly, if he didn't start out so rough, he's probably in all-star consideration again. And if the manager of the NL All-Star game were to put him as a replacement based off the way he is pitching right now, I wouldn't be shocked if he's a 3-time All-Star. He has been very good this year. I don't think he's going to make the All-Star game, but there's a possibility he could sneak in there for an injury replacement. It is very possible. Him or Dennis Santana. The Pirates have a potential to, if they were really good this year, they could have 2 relievers in the All-Star game. They really good. Caleb Ferguson as well. This is a very good year for bullpen pitching, in my opinion, for the Pirates, this trade deadline. And if you're I have Caleb Ferguson in this as well. I would rather move Ferguson over Bednar just because Bednar wants to play for your team. And it's hard to get guys that want to play for the Pirates. And I'll probably have some comments, if any, down below saying, trade Bednar. Now, I get why, but he wants to play for the Pirates. He clearly does. He loves the town. You have to keep those guys if you want to have some certain guys. Next, we're going to have my 45% now, 75% chance this winter. What does that mean? Some of you probably know. This is the category where I had to add a name. So originally, I'll keep the one I have original because I think a lot of people are going to know this. The name I added in this one was Bailey Falter. I think it's a 45% chance. Another lefty starter, just like Andrew Haney. He is having probably the best year of his career. He had the greatest May, I think it's behind Paul Skeens and another guy in Pirates history, best May ever. Right now at 3.59 ERA, 16 games started, 85 and a third, 51 Ks, a 1.18 whip, a 6-3 record, like I said. But it's funny, he's like the winning pitcher on the Pirates staff. He has more wins than Mitch Keller. When I look at Bailey Falter this year, 3.59 ERA, his last 7 games at 3.05, last 15, 3.63, last 30. He's sitting at 3.59. He has been very good for the Pirates this year. Now, he does allow some runs. He does get into some jams, but for a 5-starter, I think any team would love this type of a guy. Bailey Falter was a very surprisingly good trade. He's putting up the best year of his career right now at 5.61 in 2021, 3.86 in 22. He had a 5.36 combined ERA in 23, a 5.13 with the Phillies, 5.58 with the Pirates. He started out rough last year, but still put up a 4.43. Right now, he's at a 3.59. He's having the best year of his career right now. He is out pitching his career norms. He has a better whip by a slight margin, 1.18 compared to his career 1.27, and a career ERA of a 4.42. He's sitting at a 3.59. He's been very good. I think Bailey Falter is a move that the Pirates could make. However, they have him under contract. I'd keep this guy if it's my opinion. This is a very good 5-starter. He's a very good borderline, maybe 4-starter on some teams. I think he's actually a 4-starter on the Pirates, but still, playoff teams would love this. They could even throw him in the bullpen as a long relief option if that were the case, if where they expanded playoff rosters. If example, the Dodgers have so much pitching injuries, Bailey Falter could be a name you throw back end of the rotation just for protection of these guys. Maybe the bullpen for the playoffs. I mean, this is a great name that's out there. Probably the name that would give the Pirates, though, a large haul, better chance to get a bat. So I brought up Dennis Santana as one of those names. I think he'd get you a very top-end prospect or a really good one. I don't trust Ben Cherington to get the guy like the Marlins got like Kyle Stowers, but Dennis Santana could be that guy. Mitch Keller. This is why this is what this category is based off of. Right now, a 4.02 ERA, 16 games. You're going to look at that 1 in 10 record and be like, he sucks. No. He's giving you a quality start literally every time he's out there. 1.22 whip, lower than his career average, 1.39 in his career. 4.52 career ERA, couldn't get that out, and a 4.02 so far this season. He has been very good. Don't even look at his record. His last 15, a 4.19. However, his last 7, a 3.86. His last 3 games, he does have some blow up games. Like there was the game against the Yankees opening weekend and the game against the Astros, his last couple outings. His last 3, however, he took the loss against the Rangers. He went 5 2/3, very close to another quality starts. 3 hit, 2 earned run, 2 walks, 5 strikeouts. Against the Cubs in Chicago, 6 innings, 3 hits, 2 earned runs, 2 walks, 3 strikeouts. Against the Marlins, 6 innings, 8 hits, 3 earned runs, no walks, 4 strikeouts. So on average, he's only allowing like 2 to 3 runs a game. He's giving your team a chance to win every single time he goes out there. Very solid right-handed pitcher. The reason I think the Pirates could trade him is to get his money off the books, because we all know this team lacks the spending. And with all this young pitching come up, I don't want them to move on from Mitch Keller, because this is a great piece. He's a very, very, very solid 3-starter on a good team. On the Pirates, of course, he's the 2-starter, but this is a perfect 3-4 guy. But the guy the Pirates, like these guys, the names you have the Pirates coming out, you're going to have Paul Skeens, you're going to have Bubba, you're going to have Mitch Keller, hopefully. Like these are some build a rotation around on. So Mitch Keller, this is a tough one because I think you could go 50-50. However, I'm putting him in this 45% range. Moving on. I want to get on quick. 30%. These are my wild card moves. I kind of brought up some of these names. I'll just name these off quick. Matt Gorski. I just don't know what the plan is for Matt Gorski right now. He came up a little bit. He hammers AAA, but like he's a quad A guy at this point. Alexander Canario, the same thing. He had a really good month when Donnie Kelly first got the managerial position. However, he's kind of been slumping as of now, and this is at the end of the day. He's just a waiver DFA claim. They traded cash to get Alexander Canario from the Mets. So I think this is an expendable guy you could move if there's a team out there like that thinks they can unlock him, because clearly like the Pirates are trying their hardest, but I just don't think it's unlocking. There's stuff there. Another name, he might say who would want him, but like it's Jack Sawinski. This is like the equivalent of how I think the Rodolfo Castro trade went down. You're like, who would want this guy? And then you somehow win this trade. So Jack Sawinski, he did hit like 26 home runs one year. Like you can't just decline. The power is there. He has looked lost at the plate, but like I think there's teams out there that could unlock this guy. For some dumb reason, I think his best fit is the Colorado Rockies. It seems like every single year the Rockies, we play in Colorado, he hits a home run when he's there. It's the place that kind of unlocks him for the weekend. I think he'd be a fit there. He could also get a lot more playing time there. And then, of course, I talked about this briefly. Carmen Mlodzinski. You have the drama with him not wanting to start, or wanting to start, that is. Pirates want him in the bullpen. They're like, you're gonna go to the bullpen for now. I don't know what to do with this guy, because we just saw the Brewers trade Aaron Savali to the White Sox, and they'll probably flip him again. But like, if this guy doesn't want to do what the team is telling him to do, and like both parties I think are at fault with this, I'd flip him. You have all this other pitching coming up. I know this was a guy that was drafted, I think, under Ben, but it's like, I'm steering away from this drama. Like, I hate when players don't want to do what the team tells them. You're getting paid by the team, and call me a mark for the Pirates here, but like, if you're getting paid good money, like even like league minimum, I think it's like $750K, you do what's best for the team. I'd want him to do what's best for the team in this situation. He clearly doesn't. Like some of his relief outings haven't been that good. And when I look at his last couple games, he had the game in Chicago, he allowed 3 hits. The game in Detroit, he allowed 4 earned runs in 2 innings. It's been very average. However, there's some good, like against Texas on the 21st, 2 1/3, 1 hit, 2 walks, 3 Ks. Like against the Cubs, he allowed 3 hits in 2 innings. But it's like the random blow up games, like just kind of eke me the wrong way as like, what are we doing here? Let me see if I can find them other ones. So like, trying to see if so he's been out of the bullpen 3 times so far this year, and he in June a 5.68 ERA. Those are all bullpen games, by the way. Before that, in May, at a 3.95 ERA as a starter. In April, a 6.04 as a starter. So with Mlodzinski, I mean, maybe another team out there can unlock him and figure out what to do with him. I think it just depends on like what the Pirates are willing to say. You know what, you're going to do what we want you to do, or you're just going to go. Personally, I kind of want to move. I don't want to deal with it as a fan, have to deal with the drama. I mean, it's not my job. So moving on. Leave your comment down below about Carmen Mlodzinski. Like, what do you think they'll do with him? 20%, this would shock me. At this point, like, he had the best game of his Pirates career yesterday. It's Tommy Pham. He's just not looking good. What could you realistically get for this guy? I don't know. If anything, like international spending money, the least possible, like an Alexander Canario trade, like how we got him. At this point, they're just keeping Tommy Pham to see if you get trade value out of him, like back end of a bench of a good team that needs an outfielder. He is not an everyday player anymore. So that's why I think a DFA is more accurate. 10% don't see happening, but who knows? I have Tim Meza. You forget about him. I do too. If he's even healthy by that point, maybe you flip him. He was another lefty they added. He's on the injured list. He's on the 60-day injured list, that is. So maybe he's not even moved. And then one that I see a lot of people saying, Ke'Bryan Hayes. He's been he can't hit good, but he can play good defense. He's another one of those guys locked up. I think if they move Ke'Bryan Hayes, it could be another one of those maybe in the offseason or maybe in a year or two. He's making not that much money, but like for the Pirates money situation, what they have to pay, like that's the type of contract you might need to move on from. However, if you're trading Ke'Bryan Hayes, you're not getting much. I think there's fans that are expecting a lot more out of Hayes just because of his contract. However, if you're trading Hayes, it's practically just a salary dump. If you want to get something good out of Ke'Bryan Hayes at this point, you probably have to add a prospect or two, like to say like anything of substance or value in return. It sucks to see how Key's been doing hitting wise. He just did have a good game. He had like 2 hits, a couple of ribbies, and some good defensive plays. But like with the Ke'Bryan Hayes, you're getting glove over bat. On the Pirates, glove over bat is in particular. However, on a really good team that has a great lineup, and I've told some buddies this, and we've had this conversation before. Say the Yankees, their fans want a third baseman. I've seen some Yankees fans out there say, we want Ke'Bryan Hayes. Like, go right ahead. But here's the thing about Hayes and the Yankees. He's protected by a very good lineup. He's protected. He can just be glove first, maybe give him a couple hits every couple of games. But it's like, if you're playing good defense on the Yankees, it's fine. I mean, they'll want some hits, but it's like his bat is protected. On the Pirates, he's not protected, batting like 5th or 6th. It's just sad to see. I'm hoping for the best out of him, though. 0% chance. These are 3 names that I always see people saying, just trade it now. He won't want to play here forever. It's Paul Skeens. He's not getting moved. Sorry to burst your bubbles. Brian Reynolds, he's not getting moved either. He wants to be here as well. And then O'Neal Cruz, like he's been in a slump lately. He gets the most hate out of anyone on this team. Like I would make it an entire episode like defending this guy. I hate seeing all this hate. Like part of it's just awful comments too. Like it's bad on social media about O'Neal Cruz, but you don't trade him. He's just in a slump. I saw someone comment on my post saying he needs humbled. Like, what has O'Neal Cruz done to need humbled? Personally, like, what are we talking about? It's just angry yinzers on the internet. But yeah, those 3 aren't getting traded. A little bit of a longer episode today. I want to get this done under like 30 minutes or so. Maybe we'll get longer episodes. Maybe I'll have some guests soon. Who knows? But thank you all for watching. Make sure to subscribe to the channel down below. Help us get to near 400. We're getting close to 350 if I'm not mistaken. But thank you all for watching. Let's go Bucks. I'll see you next time.